Welcome to another installment of Turnpike Sports. I am Dave Weishuttle, and as always, I am joined by the producer and co-host, Doug Weishuttle. Doug, what's up?
Well, plenty. Seems to be kind of a crazy week.
Another busy week in sports.
Yeah.
We're knee-deep into the preseason of football, which, by the way, I love football, but I hate preseason. And more sports books have opened.
It's week 2 for preseason.
Yeah, week 2 for
yeah, you want to call it that, whatever.
No big injuries yet, which is good.
Well, I think the Redskins lost their starting running back.
Well, yeah, there we got that. So.
And I think Roethlisberger is into the concussion protocol now.
Yeah, I mean, why are they touching quarterbacks?
That was an accident, I think. I would hope it's an accident. Otherwise, he's got an enemy on defense.
If you have a starting quarterback, please don't start him during the preseason because nothing good can come of that.
No. And, again, the players don't like preseason because of the injury factor, and but the owners like it because they get to charge for 2 more home games.
Yeah.
So,
it's all about the money.
Give and take. So... welcome back to Turnpike Sports, everybody.
Yeah, we got a great show for you this week. Later on, I'll be talking with Ari Fox. He's from Fox Marketing, and they run the Casino Esport Conference, being held September 5th and 6th at the Luxor Casino in Las Vegas. Everything you want to know about esports. If you have a casino and you want to involve esports in your property, this is the place to go.
Ari's a great guy. Him and his brother run a nice conference. This is the second year. First year was over, I believe, at the Westgate.
Yeah, now this one's at Luxor. Luxor has really embraced the esports scene.
They've got a nice esports thing there. So
hey, it's something you can bet on.
Yeah, it's a
one more thing. You can bet on.
Only in Nevada.
Only in Nevada, but maybe.
I think Jersey's rearranging their regulations
hopefully
to do some of that stuff, but we'll see what happens there. But, great conference. They cover everything from the nuts and bolts of running a tournament to how to get involved with it, all that stuff. Great panels, great speakers, too.
Well, like I said, it's a busy week, so let's jump on the Turnpike.
Exit 1.
Speaking of sports betting, a lot of deals happened this past week here.
Absolutely.
First things, the New Jersey numbers were released for sports betting in their first full month, $40.6 million taken in.
I wonder if that's on target. I mean, I remember when New Jersey started the online casino thing, they had projections that were astronomical, and they didn't meet their projections. I'm curious to see if the $40.6 million in the first full month is what they expected or what they hoped for.
Well, if I remember correctly, New Jersey went a little nutso with the proposed numbers or the projected numbers for online gambling.
Yeah.
And they were nowhere near what they should have been. They were so optimistic. They were hoping this was going to be kind of a savior kind of thing for the thing. But I think sports betting may be, just by judging from that first full month of numbers coming out.
Considering also that it's kind of the off time for sports. Look, a lot of people are betting on baseball, which is the primary thing they're betting on right now. But look, you don't have hockey right now. You don't have basketball, and you don't have the big cash cow for gambling, which is football, and that's coming up. And I think that's going to. Well, I'm curious to see the autumn numbers.
You have the degenerates betting on preseason football,
bet
which
on preseason
I don't even
football.
understand that.
Don't bet on preseason football. That's my advice. I shouldn't say that because every sports book wants you to bet on preseason football. But if you're a smart gambler, I got to be honest with you, I don't even know who's there's preseason football tonight. I do not know who's playing. I don't know who's starting. I don't know how long they're going to play.
The one thing also with these new sports books, especially the ones in Atlantic City, a lot of them are temporary.
Well, yeah, they're building.
Bally's is building a new one.
Building a new one.
You have 6 right now. You have Golden Nugget Resorts just launched this week. I think it was yesterday, Wednesday.
So right now in Atlantic City, the 3 casinos that are in the Marina District, which is Borgata, Harrah's, and the Golden Nugget, they all have a sports book.
Right.
And now, like you said, the resorts opened up their sports book, and they're on the boardwalk.
Wednesday. Yep.
And the only 3 that are on the boardwalk that do not have a sports book is Caesars, Tropicana, and Hard Rock.
And I'm pretty sure Caesars has already announced they're going to have one.
Yeah.
So that's going to change soon. Trop, I don't know what Trop is doing yet.
Quiet.
They did launch an online site with Chalkline, basic stuff, and we'll see what they do. They may go online before they go physical book, but I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for a good partner. And then you have Hard Rock.
Which, by the way, we were there at the opening of the Hard Rock Casino itself, and that question was brought up to the president of Hard Rock, and there was
Jim Allen.
There was an interesting answer, and they have an interesting predicament with the NFL. Don't they have a naming situation in Florida, right?
They have the Dolphin Stadium. It's Hard Rock Stadium.
Yeah, so I think there's some hang-up there whether they can offer sports betting
again, or
some deal has to be worked out with regard to that.
They're going to probably do what Golden Nugget did with the NBA. The Fertittas own the Rockets there, and Golden Nugget can't do any Rocket betting. Or NBA betting.
So that's interesting. If I went to Atlantic City and
you can't bet on at least a Rocket game.
I cannot bet on the Houston Rockets.
No,
really?
Right.
Okay. There's a little bit.
So
of
that
news.
may be the Hard Rock answer where they carve out Miami Dolphin games.
So that could be. I don't know. We should contact some people at the Hard Rock, see what the situation is there, and how the Golden Nugget situation with the Houston Rockets figures into the Hard Rock situation with regard to their sports book.
But you know what? We now have six sports books in Atlantic City, 7 when you count FanDuel in New Jersey, 8 with Monmouth Park. So you got a lot of growth going. And
the Meadowlands, and don't forget about the Meadowlands.
I just said
FanDuel, and don't forget about Monmouth Park, because we're talking about Atlantic City right now, but there are others
and now
racetracks. And Freehold.
Freehold may enter the fray at some point. But, we got to go over to the border, go over the Delaware River, go to Pennsylvania. You now have 3 casinos talking about sports betting there. You have Mount Airy Stars Group, which is Poker Stars. They just did a deal for sports betting. Rush Street and Canby and Parks and GAN are all going to be doing sports betting. So that's 3 casinos already before even some of this stuff.
For those
launches.
who don't know, Parks Casino is a very, very big casino, and I think it's number 1 in revenue in Pennsylvania. They're in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. They're right over the border from New Jersey. And it's a great place, and I think they're going to be a major player. And of course, Sugar House. I still have no idea how they did this, but good for them. They're in downtown Philadelphia, but they have a license to operate online gambling in New Jersey.
It's
good
on,
for them.
I think it's on Resorts license.
Good for them.
And then you also have William Hill, who actually owns 2 sports books in Jersey. They just did a deal with Penn National to get a license for West Virginia sports betting. So things are happening all over the place, and I just think it's going to get more and more crazy.
Oh, absolutely. With football coming up, this news should be fast and furious.
Exit 2.
Sticking with football, we're going to talk a little promotions. Anheuser Busch launched 2 really different types of promotions, one with the NFL, the Cleveland Browns in particular, and the other one with college football. Let's do the Cleveland Browns one first.
Love this one.
They installed what they're calling victory fridges in bars around Cleveland, and these bars are set up to unlock as soon as Cleveland gets their first win of the season, and people in the vicinity will be able to get a free beer from that refrigerator.
That's great. And are these big refrigerators, or are these like small refrigerators? They
vary in size because it really depends on the bar and everything else. And Anheuser Busch is going to replace the beer every month to keep it fresh, depending on when the Browns win their first game. I think they're not favored until week 5 or 6 of the schedule.
So this is like only a one-time thing when they win their first game. It's not like every time they win a game.
No.
This is for their first game. So
of this season,
and it'll be in Cleveland proper, the city of Cleveland, or
yes.
Okay.
Yes, and nothing in the stadium, but the bars around the stadium. So people out there who didn't go to the game, they can actually get a chance to win a free beer if Cleveland actually wins a game this year. So I hate to say it that way.
You might be mighty thirsty in Cleveland.
And let's go to the other promotion real quick. Bud Light Game Day Flyaway. This I think is really cool for college football fans. This is run by Anheuser Busch, Big Game Air, and Barstool Sports. They're going to be giving away a chance to fly on a private jet to a college football rivalry game of their choice.
That's pretty cool.
It's the winner and 3 friends. And then the fourth winner of the four week giveaway gets a grand prize to attend the game that they choose, not only by private jet, but they get to sit with personalities from Barstool Sports to enjoy the entire game.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got to be honest with you.
I don't know the
other than Portnoy, I don't know anyone at Barstool Sports.
I think they probably should have just said personality from Barstool Sports. But that's the two promotions. Very unique ones.
I think it's great.
I like the fan engagement all of a sudden with this stuff. So, God bless them for coming up with something.
I think it's great for Cleveland. I love the Anheuser Busch fridge thing. So
I just hope they win a game.
Exit 3.
Staying with football, the Los Angeles Rams of the NFL just made a very unique addition to their player development handbook. They hired or did a deal with a best-selling author and sports marketing professional to help their players develop their own personal brand from when they enter into the football league. And, a lot of kids don't know business from anything. And I think this is a good move by the Rams to help kids learn how to manage and maximize their potential for making money outside football.
And it helps them make smart moves. I mean, look, you're not going to be a rookie and think you're going to have a great brand or do some marketing if you start doing stupid stuff off the field or if you start saying dumb things on Twitter or Facebook. I think this is great. I think they give them a guidance of what to do, and it prepares you probably for life after football. I mean, if you have a brand that
that's the key.
You really market, and that could really work out for them.
And and just to give the guy a plug, because it sounds like an interesting guy, Jeremy Darlow. He's the author of, I love the names of these books, Brands Win Championships, and Athletes Are Brands Too.
Sure.
So great work by them.
Yeah, a lot of young athletes get taken advantage of. A lot of young athletes, make a lot of money for other people, like agents and lawyers and things like that. And I think they need to know how to make some money for themselves and make a good life for themselves.
And it's one of those things where they are at the mercy of the people they hire to do this stuff for them. And if they understand it themselves, if there's something weird going on with their money at some point down the road, they can actually pick it out too. So it helps them on both ends, not only with their brand themselves, but also allows them to manage their own business to a certain extent.
Good for them.
Exit 4.
We're going to talk sports apps.
Okay.
Now, every little kid that watches a sporting game, whether it's baseball, football, whatever, hockey, whatever, at some point, you've tried to do the sportscasting along with it.
Sure.
Now there is this new app on the market called SportsCastr, which allows you to do just that through your phone. It's totally free, according to their website.
All right.
It's a platform where they stream the game live through your phone, and you're able to use their graphics. They have what they call a sports studio space on the app itself, where you can actually insert graphics, any kind of imagery, stats, that sort of stuff, and you can call your own game as it's going on.
I think it's great. I mean, I think it'll be a fun thing for people to do. But my thing, as soon as you told me this, I put my lawyer hat on, and I'm thinking, how did they get the rights to use the video of a game, or how did they do that? How did they stream a live? I mean, are we talking about
they
a
made
live
deals.
NFL game?
Yep.
They made deals.
They made deals. As a matter of fact, they have pretty impressive people as investors. Steve Smith, former NBA player.
Okay.
Former NBA Commissioner David Stern is one of their investors and board of advisor member.
Wow.
Jim Boeheim.
Okay, Syracuse. Okay.
Yeah, so they're on the board of advisors as also investors, all that stuff. And their big news that just happened, put them on the map. They did a deal with the NFL Players Association. Now,
Wow.
the NFLPA has this incubator, athlete-driven incubator for athlete businesses that they've started called the One Team Collective. They are in the partnership with SportsCastr, and they're going to be starting to have former NFL players doing unique content on the SportsCastr website and also on the app itself.
So this is a real big deal, I think. I mean, I think it's great for people who can do that. And a word of warning, don't do it in a bar when you're drunk. Although it might be kind of funny, but this is kind of
that's the thing.
Pretty cool. Don't ruin it for everyone.
They've got a community built around this. People can actually watch and listen to your sportscast, or you can watch somebody else's. So it's actually really good. And you know what? This might be a training ground for some of these athletes who want to get into broadcasting, see how they do.
Now, is this just an app on your phone and your tablet, but can you put it on your computer and watch it?
It's just an app only right now.
Just an app only. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I might
totally free.
Check that out.
They say completely free on the website. So check it out.
Good.
It's actually really unique. So that's the ride on the Turnpike for today. As always, if you want to get in touch with us, call or text us at 609-512-6510. That's 609-512-6510. You can reach us on Facebook or Twitter at Turnpike Sports for both of those. Email us at info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Don't forget to order your International Bikini Team calendar, info@internationalbikini-team.org for the ordering information. And also you can catch Turnpike Sports. It's distributed through iTunes, iHeartMedia, Stitcher Radio. It's on YouTube. And also go to turnpikesportsradio.com and click on the podcast button there. You'll get it right there at the website.
And stick around for my interview with Ari Fox. He's one of the creators of the Casino Esport Conference being held September 5th and 6th at the Luxor Casino in Las Vegas. All things esports when we come back on Turnpike Sports. Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from Turnpike Sports with this week's Bet Flash. On Wednesday, August 15th, 2 brand new Atlantic City sportsbooks open. Golden Nugget Atlantic City at the Marina started taking bets at 10 a.m., and an hour later, Resort Casino on the Boardwalk opened their book. Right now, Atlantic City has 6 properties with sportsbooks, with only Caesars, Tropicana, and Hard Rock Casino without a sportsbook. PokerStars has entered into a deal with Pennsylvania's Mount Airy Casino. According to the agreement, PokerStars will not only provide an online poker platform, but an online casino and a sportsbook. PokerStars previously announced that it has entered into an agreement with Resorts Casino in Atlantic City to provide an online sportsbook in New Jersey. CG Technology has been fined for the 3rd time by the Nevada Gaming Control Board. CGT, which is a sports betting technology provider, settled the case with a fine of $250,000 for allegedly allowing out-of-state individuals to place wagers and accepting bets on events that had already concluded. CGT voluntarily brought these discrepancies to the Gaming Control Board, which allegedly took place in 2016 and 17. And finally, a professional football team may be coming to Atlantic City. The Arena Football League is considering the seaside town as the site for a new team. One of the reasons cited on why Atlantic City is so attractive is the fact that sports betting has become legal in the city. Good, wholesome family fun that you can place bets on. Sounds like fun. From the seaside to the desert, from the betting lines to the sites online, Turnpike Sports has got you covered. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Turnpike Sports. You've been hearing me talk about MyPillow and the benefits of using it to get a good night's sleep and alleviate your sore neck and back and all the special deals you can get through our show. Now, for a limited time, when you buy one MyPillow premium pillow, you get a second one for free. That's right, free, when you use our promo code CARDS at checkout. Head on over to MyPillow.com and click on the buy one, get one free link. You can choose the size of each pillow and choose the fill of each one. You get the same 60-day money-back guarantee, the same 10-year warranty, and all MyPillow pillows are made with their patented interlocking fill. That's the buy one, get one free offer from MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com or call 1-800-319-7913 to order by phone. Don't forget to use our promo code CARDS when checking out to take advantage of this great new offer from MyPillow. That's promo code CARDS, C-A-R-D-S. Better sleep starts with MyPillow.
Free stuff is awesome, but free stuff that will spice up your bedroom is even better. Just go to adamandeve.com and select almost any one item for 50% off, and then we'll load on free stuff. Just enter this very exclusive code, BABE16 at checkout, and you'll get 10 tantalizing free gifts, including a sexy item for him, a special toy for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy. And for your viewing pleasure, 6 free spicy movies on DVD, plus free shipping! Always sent in discreet packaging. So go to adamandeve.com now. Get 50% off plus 10 free gifts when you enter the exclusive offer code BABE16. Again, that's BABE16. Because without it, no free stuff. That's BABE16 at adamandeve.com.
You know, ever since the U.S. Supreme Court handed down its decision lifting the national ban on sports betting, the gambling landscape of the country is changing on a daily basis. So how do you keep up with all the latest news and developments? How do you know what each state is doing?
You go to the one site that has all the information you need to stay ahead of the game, and that site is usbets.com. That's usbets.com. Written by the leading experts in the gambling industry, all you'll need is one visit to usbets.com and you'll see why it's the #1 gambling magazine in the USA. With usbets.com, you'll get up-to-date information on not just the sports betting scene, but also the latest news and notes on the entire gaming industry all across the country. It's not just one state, it's all of them in one spot. Stay in the loop and stay on top of your game. Get the latest news on sports betting and gambling from the country's #1 gambling magazine. Get on over to usbets.com. That's usbets.com. Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. You know, one of the hottest trends in gaming and casinos nowadays is esports. And every year it seems to be getting bigger and bigger. And our next guest is at the forefront of this exploding market. He is Ari Fox. Ari is an executive with Fox Marketing and the creator of the Casino Esport Conference being held September 5th and 6th at the Luxor Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Ari, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to always come on and talk about esports and how the two worlds of the esport world and the casino world are merging.
I mean, you guys at Fox Marketing always have something great in store about this conference. Before we start off, refresh everyone's memory. Tell us something about Fox Marketing, who's involved with it, and what does it do in the field of esports?
Well, Fox Marketing's been around for about 20 years. We started back in Atlantic City with, conceptually filling in spaces and places that we felt the casino market was missing. And, about 7 years ago, we started getting more involved in on the game development side. And then we started getting involved in esports very soon after that. And what is the best part about what we do is this is a younger, much smarter generation. I'm not going to put that on the last generation, but our generation is just as smart. But this generation is very, very different. They're much more computer savvy, tech savvy. They've grown up in front of screens where they interact with one another. This is how they socialize, and it's definitely something I think that needs some kind of conference like mine that presents the entire picture of what is happening, for the next generation to come to be the visitors and people who come to the casino for entertainment. Because we're really talking about entertainment, and there's many forms of entertainment that this generation is looking at. And what I mean by that is that today it could be the Overwatch tournaments. Tomorrow it could be Fortnite or PUBG or some other esports event. So it's always a changing kind of thing.
You talk about, how many people are getting involved in it, and it's still a relatively new field for many casinos and for many casino patrons. But it seems like over the last year that I've talked to you, it's really grown in popularity. I'm seeing a lot more on television. Is Las Vegas still the epicenter of the esports world?
Well, Las Vegas, I think, was the one that took the bull by the horns and started the process in the first place, because they're always looking for the next thing. And if you look back in the history of Las Vegas, it's always whatever can attract the people to the city as a whole. And if you go way back into the 40s and 50s, they had atomic blast parties, believe it or not. If you can look this up on YouTube, I've done my history on Las Vegas, and they would actually have shuttle buses that would take people out to these deserts out in the middle of nowhere outside the Strip, and they would watch an atomic bomb go up. So, and the mushroom clouds and stuff. Obviously, I guess the radiation issue wasn't an issue, But the fallout would come and it would drop into the town, but it was something that attracted people because it was like a new thing. It was like an experience, and so that's the whole thing about Las Vegas. Las Vegas has always been a place of creating an experience. I mean, if you just walk down the strip, there's so many visual experiences that you come in contact with. And that, I think, is something that I give a lot of credit to Vegas on being in the forefront of the concept and placing where esports is. Now, I'll give them credit for that, but what they really do, and the way I see it, is they jump on something, but they don't really have a clear direction of where it's going to go. But I would say that, yes, they're probably the leaders in the United States as far as what cities are in the forefront. Those guys are. That city is.
Yeah, Vegas really seemed to embrace the whole esports scene right from the get-go. I mean, where you're having your conference, the Luxor, it seems that they're really providing spaces, and gaming. The space on a gaming floor is very valuable to a casino, and Vegas is really giving them the real estate in their properties to really explore the esports and really letting it grow. Yeah.
Well, I think what you really seem to one of the points that I think that we haven't discussed yet is that in Ohio, I think it's in Columbus, where there's a lot of colleges in the area. They have the city of Columbus has got a lot of money that they're putting from city dollars into attracting esports, building esports arenas and land centers. That's local access network centers for different esports on every level, from high school to college to professional. And, a lot of other cities are following suit, like Washington, D.C., and now Atlantic City is also in the mix of trying to get involved in it. Now, I'm not talking about the casinos in Atlantic City. I'm talking about the city itself. Mm-hmm. So, that's something that should be will be coming up, but it's definitely from looking at the industry of esports itself, aside from the casino world, what you're getting is a lot of cities that are jumping into this fray, because but from my experience, from the people that I talk to, a lot of dollars and money is going towards it, but a lot of misunderstanding is happening as well. And that's frustrating for me, because as someone that runs an event, it's like my event is designed and created to help people learn what are the correct steps to take, whether you're going to be involved in the casino world and esports in a conversion way, meaning that those two worlds are colliding, or whether you're just going to be in esports alone and you're trying to get more involved in esports, and where do you take your dollars as a venture capitalist or an investor in esports, and how are you going to centralize that in a correct manner so that your return on your investment isn't wasted? So, and a lot of, because what happens is you have a lot of older guys, because let's face it, there are more older guys with more money than younger guys.
Sure.
And the older guys with that money look at esports as like traditional sports, like baseball, basketball, and they see teams like the Mavericks starting their own NBA 2K team, or the NBA adapting the NBA 2K game and getting esport teams that are playing, that are representing the franchise of that NBA team. Or they're looking at, guys like Robert Kraft, and him being one of them, that are investing in esports. But what they're missing is that this is not, and they're particularly investing in something, they invested in Overwatch, and Robert Kraft put in $20 million into the Overwatch League. But what they're missing is that the millennial generation is very fickle. They esports is not something you can put in a box. Mm-hmm. It's something that's way more diverse and much more complicated than, looking at baseball, soccer, and hockey, and football. It doesn't fit in that box. It's a square peg. It's a square peg, and they're trying to put it in a round hole, and it's just not going to do that. You have to understand the culture, the people, the communities of esports, all of the different pieces that go together. And that's what the Casino Esport Conference is for. It's really more about how do you educate these investors, these people that are trying to learn about this new phenomenon, and how is it going to help them? Like, in other words, how from that perspective, as an investor, how is it going to help them? But also from the perspective of the casino operator, how do they monetize it? And one of our topics there is monetizing esports. Sports betting and payment systems. But there's a lot more to the eye in monetizing esports than they think. Because I've talked to many casino operators and casino executives, and they're thinking, oh, well, of course, the obvious thing on esports is there's going to be betting on it. That's a no-brainer. Sure. But what about the tournaments themselves? How do you capitalize on that? And I think there's a lot of ways to skin that cat and capitalize on the actual insurgence of esports in the casino. Because let's face it, there's a prize pool for tournaments. So there's all these other abilities for people to capitalize on all these different things. So, but that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, and then we're covering other topics at the event, like blockchain technology. How does that fall into play? How does iGaming capitalize on the esports world? In other words, and there's a huge opportunity for the online gaming casinos. The concept of streaming that the casinos can capitalize for marketing purposes and for betting purposes, streaming on your phone, or even competitive esports on your phone, and how they can offer. Like, if I'm playing on my cell phone and I challenged you to a match, but I'm not even in the same room, but it's going through a casino server, then that makes a lot of sense, because now, okay, so I'm going to bet $5, you'll bet $5. Now we got $10 in the pool. And if they're controlling the game, in other words, if the casino that you're playing on or in virtually or online, they can make money that way. It's not a lot of money, but if you get enough people playing at the same time, then then they can start making money. But then there's like the other thing is, how do you cover and make sure that the person who's playing that online game is over the age of 21 and all that other stuff? Well, how do they make sure that the person's over 21 if they start playing a slot machine?
Yeah, it's the same issue right now, where I know there's a big thing for online gaming is geolocation. Where is that person? Is that person in a place where they're legally allowed to play online? Yeah, but are they? But that's one aspect. In other words, geolocation in the state of New Jersey, for example. But is it a 15-year-old playing in high school? True. Yeah, true. as opposed to someone who's 40 or 45 playing in their living room. So there's how do you control that? I think there's still an issue of that. But if they have an answer for it, obviously it would be the same answer for someone who wanted to play competitive esports or competitive video games against somebody else, for money. So there's a lot of ways to skin this cat, and I think that the casino market as a whole has been tiptoeing around it. They're sort of getting their feet a little bit wet. MGM invested as a silent partner in an organization called The Foundry. The Foundry was designed as to make a video game that would have gambling aspects to it. But here's the issue: where's and so many people hear this word in the non-esport world. Where's the authentic or the authenticity to the customer, the consumer? And millennials need authenticity. They need being, if you're not authentic and you're not going to say, hey, we're doing this because, we want you to have a good time and have a lot of fun, then that's not being authentic. If they could see right through it. In other words, if they see something and say, something's created by a company and it doesn't have the authenticity that it needs, then how do you attract that community? Because every game that is designed, like you hear about Fortnite and you hear about, player unknown battlegrounds or PUBG, or you hear about, the Overwatch or League of Legends or Smash or Street Fighter. All of these games that are in the esports space have followers. They have communities.
Nobody really talks too much about CS:GO. That's another esport game. Nobody really talks too much about, there's other games like Fallout. There's a game called Fallout that is a multiplayer, unlimited. You could go to different. It's basically you could keep traveling in Fallout for days and never see a person. But I mean, there's all these challenges and abilities to keep people engaged. And then there's a whole issue in esports about skins. I mean, the way that the esport world makes their money is through selling skins.
Hold that thought. Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports. Join the best and the brightest of the esports industry at the Luxor Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas on September 5th and 6th for the second annual Casino Esport Conference brought to you by Fox Marketing. This two-day hands-on event will provide the most direct and informative connection for gaming establishments looking to incorporate the esports gaming world into their properties. The Casino Esport Conference will not only educate but actually facilitate your casino's move into the esports industry. Panels include experts discussing wagering, mobile social gaming, the latest technology, and much, much more. Attendees can participate in the Esports Expo and gain tools to implement changes immediately. You can even meet with the esports tournament organizers to explore partnerships to run esports events at your casino or gaming property. Don't wait. Head on over to casinoesportconf.com and register today to attend this exciting and unique look at the esports industry. The second annual Casino Esports Conference, September 5th and the 6th at the Luxor Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. It's one event you can't afford to miss.
We'll get right back to the show, but I want to take a minute to talk to you about Bean Genius. How would you like your coffee delivered right to your door every month, maybe 2 times a month? Well, now that can happen with Bean Genius. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country at beangenius.com. And Bean Genius actually learns their customers' individual taste preferences, then suggests future coffee blends for them. Well, how do they do that? Well, this is the cool thing about Bean Genius. Over at beangenius.com, they use an algorithm which learns the coffee flavors you like and then pairs up what you like with the coffee that they have in stock. And it's all based upon you. Every time you order, the system learns. The system learns your preferences as you go along and order more and more coffee. And now, all our listeners at Turnpike Sports can get a special offer. You head on over to beangenius.com/subscription, and you'll be able to get 10% off your purchase when you use our promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E, at checkout. That's 10% off at beangenius.com/subscription with promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E. beangenius.com, the smart specialty coffee subscription service.
You've been hearing me talk about MyPillow and the benefits of using it to get a good night's sleep and alleviate your sore neck and back, and special deals you can get through our show. Now, for a limited time, when you buy one MyPillow premium pillow, you get a second one for free. That's right, free, when you use our promo code CARDS at checkout. Head on over to MyPillow.com and click on the buy one, get one free link. You can choose the size of each pillow and choose the fill of each one. You get the same 60-day money-back guarantee, the same 10-year warranty, and all MyPillow pillows are made with their patented interlocking fill. That's the buy one, get one free offer from MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com or call 1-800-319-7913 to order by phone. Don't forget to use our promo code CARDS when checking out to take advantage of this great new offer from MyPillow. That's promo code CARDS, C-A-R-D-S. Better sleep starts with MyPillow. Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. Ari, sorry about that. Radio has to do its business, you know. Why don't you continue what you were saying before the break?
You know, there was one of the publishers that came out with a game, and I think they got into a little bit of a legal trouble because they were using skins for gambling, which they considered that wasn't exactly kosher or whatever.
Sure.
But it's the issue of, like, you know, the regulation and everything is very new, but that's the purpose of the Casino Esport Conference. It's to lay all of this stuff out, go through it together as a group, and discuss it and see where we can point the pendulum so that we're doing it all in the right way. Because I think a lot of the people who are getting involved in esports, that's casino people and venture capitalists alike, are going into this market blindly, and they're being led by others who are just as blind. And I don't mean to, you know, there are people out there that are doing very great consultant work, but then there are people out there that have been consulting for some of these people for years, and so they just say, "Hey, you're my consultant. I want to know about esports." Well, that consultant really doesn't know anything about esports.
Sure.
and that consultant sort of, you know, hangs up the phone with their client and then thinks, all right, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Well, you know, how am I going to find out this information? Should I go talk to my 12-year-old son who's playing video games every day in the house?
This is where your conference comes into play. I think when looking at your website, I mean, it seems like your conference covers everything in the esports business, things that I've never even thought of. You know, you have legal questions, game creators, manufacturers. When people attend the esports conference at the Luxor, what can they expect to encounter when they get there?
Well, they can expect to encounter a lot of casino executives that will be there to network with, and a lot of people that you'll find a lot of answers to a lot of your questions. And I think that's the key, because it's how do you get integrated into this industry? And it's a lot of people have said to me, a lot of older guys have said to me, it's kind of like when the music industry started with Woodstock, and that's this younger generation of people that are creating this phenomenon that was really drumming up an enormous following of, you know, thousands and thousands and millions of people. And how did they capitalize the music world and be authentic with it, so that it's the same thing. And I could tell you that the simple authenticity of the music world really started with Woodstock. Mm-hmm. You know, whenever, what was his name, Geffen, or I don't remember the guy's name, who started the promoter for Woodstock, when he had that vision of creating this festival, this music festival, it was genius, but at the same time, they didn't make any money.
Sure.
You know, but the investment, the throwing the skin in the game and putting the money forward to take that opportunity to say, hey, we're authentic, we're here, and we want your business, is sort of a very tightrope to walk. Mm-hmm. Because one misstep, they'll see right away, this is a tougher market than the music and
sure.
than the music fans were back in the 60s. This is a market of, you know, we're watching everything you do, and we're online all the time, and there's news about everything, and we can see if you're really authentic or you're not, or if you know your stuff or you don't. You know, you have to speak. You got to speak to speak. You got to know the jargon. You have to really educate yourself so that you know what you're talking about, so that you're one of those people in the community, and that's really the key.
Well, let me ask you something. I like that comparison that you gave with Woodstock and esports. Would sports betting be that first step for casinos to get involved with esports? Because I've been to most of the sports books in New Jersey and Atlantic City, and from what I saw, they have yet to offer esports to their customers. Is it just a matter of time before they start offering betting on esports, or do you think they would need to host some events on the East Coast before these sports books can start offering that to their customers?
I think what you're going to see first is more events. You'll see more esport tournaments and more events happening without the betting on them. Eventually, right now, the language on the laws in regards to esport betting is fuzzy. It's kind of like not clear. because in the state of New Jersey, I've been told by regulators from the Department of Gaming Enforcement, guys like Dave Robeck and those guys from Atlantic City, that it is allowed, betting on esports is allowed, but they don't want anyone to be betting on people who are playing a sport or a video game that's under the age of 18. So you can't bet on, if there's like two teams playing, and it's a 5-on-5 game like an Overwatch tournament, then one of them happens to be under the age of 18, then it's probably not allowed by the state of New Jersey that you could bet on that tournament. But then again, they've allowed sports betting now, and it's available and open in the state of New Jersey. So would that also categorize if you go towards like the Olympics, for example? Mm-hmm. What if you were betting on a gymnast who was under the age of 18? What if you were betting on a swimmer who was under the age of 18? I mean, there are athletes that are under the age of 18 or even at 18 in the Olympics.
I know they were betting on the World Cup, but I'm not sure if there's athletes under 18. I'm sure there could be if they were such a great soccer player, but they were betting on the World Cup.
Right. So how do you know what their ages are?
That's a good point.
So I mean, there's, it's very fuzzy. That's what I mean. So I think the laws have to be clearer, and I think that the lawyers, people who are making the laws, the assemblymen, the congressmen, the senators, they don't know anything about esports. They're completely in the dark about what it really actually is. I mean, a lot of them will probably up until a couple of years ago in the government and in also the casino world, they all thought that people who play video games were 12-year-olds, or younger. They didn't realize that, how much time had gone by, and those same people that they knew that were involved in video games are now at the age of, the average age of a gamer is 34 years old, 35, or between 34 and 37 years old, according to the Electronic Software Association, or the ESA. So there's been a lot of maturity. It's still a very young industry. And the average age is, again, in their mid to late 30s. But it takes time for the rest of the world that's leading, the movies industry, like Hollywood and the casino industry and the government, to catch up with the time that goes by and how quickly, the generations change and how the entertainment changes. I mean, because of the internet, we've had stars that are born because they had a YouTube show. They didn't come from Hollywood. They weren't found in a play. They were found online. Yeah. I mean, Justin Bieber happens to be one of them.
Sure.
I mean, he's a musician, but he was found by somebody in the music industry, and he had a video YouTube clip. And he was like, I don't know, was he 11 years old, I guess, when he started? But he was discovered online. So everything that, is happening is really coming from all of our entertainment, all of our experience, all of our exposure to everything is happening online. And it brings me back to the other issue of recently they just had the Overwatch finals at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. And there was a lot of misinformation. I mean, they said that there was 20,000 people that went to watch the Overwatch tournament. No, it was 11,000 people. Mm-hmm. In fact, what people didn't see was that the auditorium was made smaller, and only 11,000 people showed up, not 20,000 people. That's a big difference. But numbers are exaggerated, and in the esport world, and the concept behind the Casino Esport world. At the Casino Esport Conference is to be authentic, to say where is the industry right now, and not, really make these numbers, sort of like double the numbers or exaggerate the numbers. We want to say this is where we're at right now, and this is how you can capitalize on it. So we're trying to be a lot more clear and more direct into really where's the area of penetration that you can get into, so that you can definitely get your return on your investment. so that you're not wasting your time and your money. Because there's a lot of people, and I get frustrated myself because I talk to a lot of people in esports. I come across a lot, and you can tell the people who are in it because they're passionate about it, and you can tell the people who are in it because they're looking to make a quick dollar. And anyone that's in this industry, esports particularly, that's looking to make a quick dollar, they will be rejected by all the communities, all the gamers. Gamers will see right through that.
Who are some of the speakers, and what are some of the topics that you will be covering at the esports conference at the Luxor?
Well, some of the topics that we're going to be covering, let's cover that. Some of the speakers are Robert Rippey. He's the director of the newly formed Hospitality Lab and International Gaming Institute at the UNLV. Carl Benenson, he's the chief of the Nevada Gaming Control Board's Enforcement Division. He's going to be talking about esports in Nevada and how it's evolving. Melissa Blau is a very big iGaming executive who's been involved in a lot of esport projects at this point. Nick Cohen, he's from Harman Electronics. They're talking about a lot of the equipment that's being supplied for esports. Alex Engelman, he's from Millennial Esports. He's the chairman of Millennial Esports, and he'll be talking about the integration between the two industries. Blaine Grayboys, who is the CEO of GameCo, will be there. He's going to be covering skill-based slot machines and also more of the integration on esports into the casino world. Roger Groves is going to be a moderator. He's from Global Gaming Business. Wim Stocks, and this is another influential guy. He runs a league called the Star League, which is a college level esports league. And he was also a executive with Virgin and Richard Branson. Basim Beer is this guy who is this passion for video games. He's an esport manager at the esports arena. Rob Carroll is a guide designer of esport apps. He's creating a sort of like the DraftKings, but it's like fantasy esports. So you would pick different players and bet on them. And you'd form your fantasy team. Seth Shore, the chairman of the Downtown Grand, one of the first pioneers of esports in the Las Vegas area. I mean, it just goes on and on. We have
it's an amazing list. You have an amazing list, and certainly you have an amazing site with the Luxor.
Yeah, I mean, I got guys like Kingsley Edwards. This other guy named David Wu, who is manager of Panda Global, which is an esport organization, has different esports teams that play all over the world. It just goes on. I mean, there's a huge amount of people that are going to be speaking on panels and talks. Government people involved. So that's why a lot of government people should come. There's a guy named Brendan Bussman. He is executive and with the background in government affairs, communications, and business development of hospitality, healthcare, energy, and sports. John English is the same kind of thing. I mean, the list is there. It's all there on the website at Casino Esport Conference.com, but it's not. It's actually CASINO esportconf.com. So the conference is short to CONF. And then our schedule on topics are new faces of gaming, legal regulation, monetizing esports, iGaming for the new generation, architecture, tools, hardware, software. What's going to take for your casino to integrate into esports? What kind of equipment do you need? Payment systems, cryptocurrency. Then we have an open display area that people can talk and meet some of the people in the esports. We have a sort of a little expo area. Then the next day is skill-based gaming and understanding the major esport games, gamer psychology, hosting tournaments, marketing to millennials is like the last event. But I mean, we're just really at the tip of the iceberg with some of the topics here. When we go into 2019, we're going to get more into depth and have way more substance and probably add on another day to the event. But it's definitely a lot to take in, and a lot of people that you can meet at this and network at. It's a valuable experience, and it's the kind of thing you're going to get from it is going to be huge. I had people that came to our inaugural Casino Esport Conference last year, and they still have business from it.
Great. You know, we're running out of time, but I want you to remind the audience again when and where the Casino Esports Conference will be held, the website, and how people can register for it.
Sure. Registration's still open. You can go on our website at casinoesportconf.com. So that's CASINOESPORTCONF.com. And you can check out our schedule there, register for the conference. The conference is September 5th and 6th, 2018. It's our second year, and it's a conference for the new age of gaming. And not to say that, you know, the old age of gaming should be pushed away. It should definitely be there because that generation still exists and never should be ignored. But this is the new generation and new customers that you can build to bring into the casinos.
Ari Fox, executive with Fox Marketing and creator of the Casino Esports Conference. Thanks for joining us and telling us all about the event.
Right. It's going to be at the Luxor Hotel.
Luxor, absolutely.
Las Vegas. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I think that'll about do it for us for Turnpike Sports. We'll see you again on the Turnpike.